Divine greetings, entities, energies, lovelies, bodies of light, the seekers and sojourners of truth, the 144, chosen of the chosen few. You all know who you are. I greet you in the love that lights the truth from my heart to yours. I am Celestial Earth. And this divine energy essence of it all reporting to you live from nowhere other than dimension number 5D in the place to be. Stand up if you're here with me, especially if you're looking for those 5D calendars. The 5D calendars are out. Please get them at a 5D corner near you. I have been showcasing it. And we will have the workshop coming up. And I do have a promo right now, as I should mention, that if you email me at akilatextry@gmail.com the promo code of Sirius Gateway between now and the 7th, which I believe is tomorrow, you will get it for $18 instead of $27. So step right up, get your 5D calendars and get them discounted with the promo code of Sirius Gateway at akilatextry@gmail.com, and I'll put the description in the link below, as well as the promo code in case you forget that we're in the Sirius Gateway. So with that said, anything else, any other reminders? Yes, please remember to like, subscribe, share, comment if you dare. Thank you for those of you who have been in the lives and commenting and throwing out the emojis, the loves. I have nothing but love right back at you. Thank you for those supporters that stay true and stay tuned in so we can tune up to these frequencies, because these are some important times. And I realized the chosen few had gotten fewer, and that's okay too, because I know the divine is showing me something else as well. So the chosen of the chosen of the chosen few, we're still being sifted through. Ashe. And with that said, let me speak on the snatchers, the soul snatchers. I definitely would like to address that now. Finally, I've been wanting to discuss this for a while, because there is a lot of soul snatching going on. So let's talk about it, right? Let's look at what soul snatching is. And it's funny how when I hear this word now, for those of us who remember the song, I think it was The Box. I can't remember what it's called. It's a rap song. And I just keep hearing she's snatching. So, not like I can't say the word. I'm a nigga. But for respect of others' ear's sake, which you know what I'm talking about. And a lot of people have said that and rapped that and don't really notice that. What are we talking about? Snatching souls. Like he was already rapping about it. And I'm looking back at it like, little did we know it was some soul snatching going on. That song in itself is soul snatching, right? So let me explain where this, what it looks like and who falls into this category of snatch souls, right? There are there are souls. Let's say we've all come here, right? We've all come here to excel, to accelerate in our timeline. Everybody is here on a divine mission, on a divine plan. Check your soul star. It holds the code. Check your DNA if you can. It holds the code. Your spiritual blueprint, your God encryption. There is a reason why you're here. When you find the patterns in your life that highlights the karmic imprints, the reasons why we are souls unfolding on a soul unfolding journey. And for a lot of us, we've come here, we have contracts that we don't even understand. There are contracts that a lot of us have with family members, with friends, with strangers that you may only see one time. That is your once in a lifetime opportunity in this lifetime, because they are a reminder. We're all like, if you can look at it like this, we're all like little neurons, right? And when the neurons connect with another neuron, it shares information. There's a synapses. This is why I speak on soul synapses, because our souls, the neurons, look at our souls being these individual neurons that are sharing this information. And when we come in contact with another neuron, there is a synapses. You're either going to give information or receive information. So the one or two things that's happening when the dendrites connect with the other neuron, right? For those who don't know, the dendrites are the little tentacles at the end of the little terminal, at the end of the terminal of the neuron. So there's information being shared. Why am I saying all this? Because I really want us to understand the scope of what is happening when we come here and we have these missions. We are not here just to be human beings living in our human suit. The suit is there to protect you. The suit is that what you're living through and having the experience in to advance what is inside of the suit, to advance the soul. And what happens is a lot of us come here to be a part of the remembering, but part of that remembering is to also fall into the forgotten. See, I ain't lying. So we fall into this when we come here, when we descend into this realm, we come in with a so-called blank slate, right? But it's not really blank, because if we truly do the work and take the time, everything is encoded in our subconscious. It's like the black box of our soul, the recorder, the memory bank, if you will, of our soul. So our key is to tap into the subconscious to activate the remembering. Whether it's not whether it is about past lives, it's to tap in so you can remember why you're here. Now I say all this so we understand what happens when we come here with a mission, with a plan, and then we come through the portal, we come through the womb of this earth, we come through the womb of the divine feminine, the mother, the receptive activity. We come through that into the creative activity, and we come ready to work and expand and to be a part of the remembering. And then what happens is we get snatched along the way. Like for a lot of us, it happens in stages, right? There's inner childhood stuff. I want us to think about this multidimensionally. Think about all the aspects. You come with everything, including your past lives, junk and karma and trauma that you did not deal with. You've come with that to be able to find it and deal with it. And so why am I saying that? So that you understand there is a transcript. Let's look at it that way. There's a transcript that you come with, that we all come with. And there's other entities and energies that are here. Let's call it the parasitic energy, the opposition energy. I call it database. If we could look at it, if we look at everything as information right now, I want us to understand that you come here as an energy, light, information with a transcript of information. And there is a parasitic energy, a database, if you will, that has all of this information in the information field, right? The electromagnetic field, the energy field. Information is everywhere around us. The air waves, the atmosphere, the field, right? Whatever you want to call it, the invisible realm. There is so much information that we're not aware of because we only look at empirical evidence and what we can see with these two eyes. So why am I saying this? So we understand, overstand, and understand that this parasitic energy, this is where, I'm going to piece this together now. This is where when you hear people say, the devil knows the Bible, right? The devil, let's link that to the parasitic energy. The evil, the opposition knows the Bible because the Bible is you. You are the book of life. And if you come with the transcript being a book of life, then it knows your transcript. So this entity and this energy, it's like it's already here. And the moment you come into this realm, it beep, beep, beep. It's on the radar. Sometimes this parasitic energy, or most times I would say this parasitic energy knows you before you know you in this lifetime, in your conscious mind, before you are consciously aware of who you really are and the gifts that you really came with. They already been reading your transcript, right? So it corroborates, if you will, it's in the database. It's like let's imagine your soul coming in, and it's like incoming database. Parasitic energy attaches itself through your wounds of your families, through the wounds within your bloodline and through the wounds within your family. This is why I've been talking about the bloodline wounds, the energy imprints. And so it's already known what you're here to do and how it can get through you. Just like you know Here's the double-edged sword to it. You know why you chose the families and the contracts that you chose, even and especially the challenging ones, because you need that challenge to sharpen you, to bring you out, to shape you, to bring you into the remembrance, and to transcend whatever it is that you need to transcend. So you chose those setups, if you will. But just like you chose them, the parasitic energy is aware of it, and it uses it to exploit your transition plan, your transcending plan. It uses it to exploit it before you can get to it. Stick with me. I want us to understand this. So it starts and it begins to snatch your soul every opportunity that it gets to dig through a wound, through the wound of your families. It wants to flip your script, if you will. You have a transcript and it wants to flip your transcript so that you're unaware of it and you become so embedded in it. You fall deep because you're already coming through the forgotten, right? This is why they say you're born in sin. All sin is a mistake or a misstep. And the number one cause of sin is forgetfulness. So when you forget, we come through this womb, and remember, slate is supposed to be clean consciously. It's clean. So we don't remember. So we're in the forgotten. And that is the sin or the mistake that we come through. It's not really a bad thing. It's part of the plan. It's part of you becoming a part of the remembering. In order to remember, you have to go through the forgetting, right? So Ashe, gotta correct that, right? See, even that's what I'm talking about. That is one of those, as I explained, one of those things that I'm working on, of an entity that has attempted to snatch me through information and by implanting information in my field so that I will fall somehow into its spell and find a kindredness with it or a familiarity with it, even through words. And that's why we got to disconnect and detach. So there are these snatched souls that they have a mission. They may have very well come here to do what needs to be done, as all of us have. But it depends on how far off the field we've gotten. That determines how snatched we are. So if you are here, especially as a light worker, and you're still clinging to the old paradigm, and you're still letting the misappropriated ego drive your ship or drive your vehicle, the vehicle which is your body, your human consciousness, you're allowing your misappropriated ego in its set form, set tripping. My Kemetic people know what I'm talking about if you truly understand that Aset Asar story, right? Once Asar is your conscious phase of mind. Once it has been dismembered and now you have allowed Set to sit on your throne and you're in the underworld of your own life, and Set rules the underworld, which are the things in that realm, right? And so when we get too involved with Set and our underworld and our human flesh of what we want, what we desire, and we become more intertwined with the parasitic energy, all of this has to do with the parasitic energy. Who is snatching you? The parasitic energy. But it is you that have allowed yourself to be snatched, because everything is choice. It cannot infiltrate without you being a viable host. And how are you a viable host? Through your wounds. When you allow your wounds to dictate how you're going to act or react, instead of responding to truth, instead of being able to respond to truth and have accountability. The true working with Set is to have accountability. Set comes up in your world so that you can have accountability. So when you're Set tripping, if you want to get out of it, the first thing you can do is start to look at yourself and have accountability and be able to respond through accountability. That is how you loosen the grips of this parasitic energy. But who can know it? You have to first know yourself. And again, this is why one of the most important scripts or phrases is know thyself. so that you can know the parts of you that you don't know, because the parts of you that you don't know, the parasitic energy does know. Because why? The devil knows the Bible. Evil knows you, the book of life. And it has been snatching you through every wound that you've had, through every wound in your family lineage that you have allowed to make you, shape you. That's why we have to have accountability and take back ourself and our soul and who we are. Take responsibility for how we show up and how we respond and how we internalize things that have happened to us, because it's all a part of the plan, right? It's a part of your divine plan. It's a part of the database plan. They got a plan, they got an agenda. And their plan and their agenda is to exploit your plan, because you've come here charged with challenges for the benefit of you. But the problem is, if you don't remember quick enough, if we don't quicken ourselves to the remembering, and that's why we got to teach our little ones this before they start to internalize things in their own way and allow Set to sit on their throne, to be Set tripping and begin to sell out their soul, begin to become a snatched soul. So that brings me to explain all of that up to that part faithfully. You get what I'm saying about how it comes about, how it transcends into the, lifetime after lifetime. It's sitting here waiting on you every time. That parasitic energy ain't got nothing better to do. It's been here infinitely, indefinitely. The fallen ones, the fallen angels, the fallen whatever you want to call them. And a lot of them have become so desolate in this desolate place. And they're able to snatch and just keep snatching. So a snatched soul, especially as a light worker, are ones who have a plan but have been so forgotten, so strayed from the plan, so intertwined through their misappropriated ego with the demonic energies, which are the unhealed wounds within them. The deeper the wounds, the deeper the, I don't know why this came to me like this, but I'm hearing the deeper the wounds, the deeper the coons. The coons, whatever the coons are. And I always see coons as like thieves in the night. They come out in the night sneaking around. They move around in the darkness. So the deeper those wounds, the more you are liable to be a viable host for these entities and these energies to be snatched. So right now, the desperate energies are doing desperate things, grabbing up the snatched souls and having the snatched souls work desperately to snatch others. So I say this so that chosen ones be able to recognize when a soul is snatched. And I put this in a shorts, and I'm going to say it again. You'll know that someone is snatched when you can clearly see they're not on their divine plan. You could tell when people, they're not in coherency. You don't got to know their plan, but you could tell they're not coherent. That's one. Right? And you can tell if they're a viable host for the parasitic energy, meaning if they have a lot of wounds, if they have unhealed wounds, these people, the ones who have issues, and they choose to continue to gloss over it. If they don't have accountability, that's the number one thing. Anyone who you see cannot have accountability no matter what, and these are heavily narcissistic people, mind you, but they don't only have to be narcissistic. Right? And there's different types of narcissists, so be mindful of that. They're not all overt. You have covert, you have victim narcissists, which are ones who play victim, so you would never think that they're a narcissist because they're always crying victim. These, all you have to look at is, do they have accountability? Do they have a responsibility in them that allows them to have accountability? When you see that those cannot, I don't care how much you love them, how much you know them, if you see they cannot have accountability for nothing, please know that they are snatched. Those are snatched souls. Their souls are snatched. That's it. It's nothing you could do for them. Anything that you tell them, they're not going to turn over. And I've had to face this. That's why I wanted to talk about this recently. I've had to face this with someone whom I know we have past lives The patterns have shown me. We have past lives, and they have been in agreement for us to come into a meeting in this lifetime. However, by the time we meet up, they are so deeply devolved. They're in a deep devolution of their own soul that they can't see the purpose, the true purpose of us crossing paths. And they have attempted in their devolution to also try to implant things in my mind. And I'm talking about light workers, to implant things. This is supposed to be a leader in the light worker community or the spiritual community. And you will see a lot of those. And I had to realize that this is a snatched soul because they have forfeited their reason. And I have come to them and spoken to them. That's why I'm sharing it with you. You can come to them, you can speak, but when you speak to them, even as the divine shows you and you're guided to, and your guides are helping you and their guides are pointing it out to you. But when you come to that, this is why everyone has free will. When you come to that meet and they choose not to appropriate, they choose to stay in their devolution, egoically, arrogantly, pompously even, and standing in a place where they feel that they are right and true, and choose not to take that opportunity to have accountability and recollect, to have a total recall and be a part of the remembering, then you can clearly see that they are snatched. And this is where I had to release that person. And this is where it stood out to me that, oh snap, this is a snatched soul. Because I was privy, because of the information field, I was privy to what was in her information field, what was in the plan, what was supposed to happen when we come into meeting, the reason for our meeting, right? Me being a soul that is on a, let's say, a higher degree, a older soul's ascension, being able to bring a certain awakening and have a certain type of soul synapses, and they weren't able to see that. And so instead, not only were they, you can see that they're snatched because they were also being used through the parasitic energies to poke, to continue to attack my light in very subtle ways with a smile on their face, right? So when I say this, see, that right again, that right is one of their words, one of their implants that I just am wanting to get rid of, right? I'm working on it. Not wanting, it's going. That's why you see I keep catching myself. So we're not going to say right, ashe. And that's something that they pride themselves on. They say right a lot because they really feel that they're justified and right. It's how they keep putting it in their brain and saying, I'm right, when they are dead wrong and dead gone because they're so far snatched. So I say this so that you recognize when you see ones like this. And as I brought, whoa, see, they don't like it. Snatched. What was I going to say, Spirit? As I bring, that one was loud, as I bring the information, that's what it was. They didn't want me to say that again. Accountability. As I brought accountability to the forefront, right? You see, they want to distract. That was a major distraction. Like, I don't even know how to edit anyway. I was going to say, I'm not even editing that. Like, you go see that just as it is, raw as it is, wanting to jump you, right? Literally jump you in your soul. I felt that in my chest, in my heart. So when you bring it to the forefront and they want to distract, like a major boom, bombs away, let them be. Recognize that, hey, you heard that? It's like, it's that loud in the spirit realm. We got to hear it that loud, like a massive boom, waking you up to that, to say, hey, this is a snatched soul. They're gone. And not only are they snatched, but they want to snatch you, and they are snatching others, because believe me, they have a crew of minions around them. They are snatching. But we got to be sharp enough to make sure we don't become one of them. Look out for them. And if you see fellow light workers who are unsuspecting, do your best to educate them. on what snatched souls look like, so that you don't got to tell them, hey, that person da 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 da, because then that can be misconstrued as well as either gossiping or, and it's not about that. You simply want to educate them on what snatched souls look like, so that they can look out for themselves and see for themselves. Now, if they ask you, you can tell them. If they say, hey, what do you think? And you can say, hey, honestly, yes. Be honest with them. Let them know if you see it in a particular person that they ask about, you can let them know. But our job is just to highlight, educate more about these snatched souls out there. So when you run into someone and you may think, hey, it feels like we're meant to be, we're meant to know each other, there's a divine plan, please be careful of how you see them moving. And if you want to test them, just test them with accountability. See if they're willing to have accountability even for the simple things, the little things. And if not, know that they are snatched. They don't know how to have accountability for nothing. They are snatched. That's your biggest check. If you want to know what to check them by, the easiest and the biggest one, do an accountability check. Anyone who cannot hold himself accountable is a snatched soul. Ashe? Ashe. So with that said, I'm going to leave that here with you all. Look into it. Educate others when you can. Look out for the snatched souls. Make sure you are not snatched. Check within yourself and make sure that you are on your divine plan and that you practice accountability everywhere that you can. Ashe. And with that said, remember 5D calendars. Get them at a 5D corner near you. Promo code Sirius Gateway. Email me at akilatextry@gmail.com. The description will be in the link below. And sending you so much love and light, preparing for the 7/7 portal tomorrow. So I'll do something on that, along with the last outer planet that is shifting for this year, Uranus, changing from Taurus into Gemini. So we're going to talk about it tomorrow. With that said, each one reach one, teach one. If you don't know where to start in your big, beautiful heart. Shine your light from the inside out and be the candle that lights the next one and the next one and the next one. Peace, love, and light.